Alright, yo. Laat dat zien hoe maat the game. Stanley Parable. And then we get that Billy. Let's play, man.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Stanley.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Oh, maar wat liep het? Oké. Billy. Net eruit Matrix.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Dat was number one dead. Hashtag dead. Damn. I hate Mondays. Alright, what we doing? What we doing? Oh, what's that?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
On his left? You sure? Or on his right? Which one? Det här Nico says on. Let's be on Matrix. Okay, here no good. Turn it bright.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Boss. Where you at?
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Or downstairs. Siinä jotakin punaista. Tehdään niinku miten tää sanoo. Katsotaan mitä tapahtuu. Missä pomo?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Mä unohdin mitä se sanoi, se jäpäs niin paljon. 2-8. Mitä se sanoi?
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Oh shit. Tiedätkö mä tipun tuon? Täällä ei oo mitään. Pitääkö mulla oikeesti hyppää? Mä luulin, että mä tipun alas. Okei, hissi.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Yeah, I need answers.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Or escape. Let's go mind control. Speed on Matrix.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Of course. Hieno paikka. Täällä ei oo mitään. Taas joku nappikamera.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Fired. Ainoastaan 2 on fired. Mikä on 140? Mä näen joku numero, joka oli fired. Ne kaikki eri. Toi on 1 eri, 2, 3, 4. 104. 700 on fired. Joku 600. Lift up.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Tätä ei selittää.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Oh, okay. Mulle pitää laittaa tää kiinni. Control disable. En voi painaa tätä. Joo, 1. 2. Tuolla oli 5. 3, 4. Mä voin mennä kyykkiin. Mitä muuta? Mikä tää? Ei tossa joku numero. Kyllä. Ei voi juosta. Hei, mä en voi mennä sinne. Boring. Facility power. Okay. Uncontrolled awaiting input. Ei muista tommonen iso TV.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Nyt jos mä laitan sen päälle. Onko mä sitten pomo? Vähän kaikki pimeäksi. Oliko se siinä? Tosi lyhyt peli.
Blackness
Tosi nopea.
and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Damn. Se oli siinä. Pittikin. Mitä se oli noin helppo? Get your first trophy. What? Saanko vähän achievements täällä? Yeah, I think so.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okei, eli kaiken uudestaan. Eiks niin? Yeah. Tuo oli nopea peli. Mä voin tehdä mitä se sanoi.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Niin, mä voin tehdä mitä se sanoi. Katsotaan jos tehdään toisin.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Tehdään toisinpäin. Tehdään kaikki väärinpäin, aina kun se sanoo jotakin.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Anna kahvia. Tarvitsen.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
First door on his left. Mitä siinä on? Tässä on niin paljon possibilities, man. Mä voin mennä tonne, mihin sä sanoo, tai sitten tänne. Mä en tiedä mikä tää edes on. Ovi menee varmaan kiinni.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Okei, ollaan nyt jossakin. Jossakin. A2, mä en tiedä missä me ollaan. Do not jump from the cargo. Penalty from... Yo. Saadaanko me rahaa, jos mä ei
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Eli mä kuulin. Eikä alkaa alusta. Oh no.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Jätä voi olla. Ai, uudestaan.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors,
jump.
He entered the
No,
door on his
seriously,
left.
disabled it. Oh, mä sain troffi.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and
Final
Stanley
league
knew it
access.
perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yes, good.
Wow. Yes, this room.
Yeah,
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Mitä jos mä mennään tännekin?
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Back on track. Or press the right button.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
What? Ei itsekin unohti mihin pitää mennä. Mä en voi mennä minnekään muualle.
Oh, no. No, it's to the right, my mistake.
Bro, anna mä menen, man.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Let's see, we went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Oh, okay. You sure it's on this way? Alright. Voi mennä muualle. Hey, mä olen taas...
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
What?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Se oli hauska, mitä tää
When Stanley...
Whoa.
Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Oh, nyt ei anta mulle päätä. Hei, mä olen päästä tänne. Miksi täällä on tuolla? I don't know where to go, man. Mielestäni tää vie mua extra back. Ehkä menen samaan. Ja kato, tää ei oo sama.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Nah, what? Olisit antanut mulle hypeen.
All of his co-workers were gone.
What could it mean?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Taas kaikki alusta. Onko 2 ovea? Nyt ei oo yhtään.
Yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Okay, let's go back. Did we miss anything? Mentikö meidän väärä ovi? Kaikki on samalla lailla. Mitä ennenkin oli?
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Okei, tää ei ole trolling. Vaan sen takia, että mä en kuunnellut sitä, mihin pitää mennä. Sen käskyjä. Tää ei ole trolling, man. Mitä jos mä menen back? One more time. Okay. Ei oo mitään. Okay. I was just testing you. Oof. Somebody was paid.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so.
Bro, sounds right.
I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this?
Restart.
You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off. So, good job. Oh, no, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay? I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Restart again. How many times are we gonna restart, right?
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Hei. Mutta meillä piti mennä... Tää on taas väärä paikka. Tää on eri paikka. Mehän aina mentiin tästä. Rovesta tähän.
No, I'm down. We're living it up to the line from now on.
What? Damn, I had enough. He said, yeah, I'm not doing that anymore. Pysy se viivanka.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny.
Destiny?
Here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office, in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa.
Are you yapping too
much?
much?
That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
I don't know. Turn this up. Turn this up, bro. I don't wanna listen to this. Hey, aunque ya pen with the music. That music is going crazy. Oh, look at them. Look at all the escapades. What? Var not det så obvious men efter mind game.
Wait, cut the music, go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Там мой сама осталась есть. Eigenlijk muziek aan het boys.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Yeah, just restart, please. 1 minute, guys. Don't need money, guys. Just restart, please. Okay, niet meer aan 10. Ah, not again.
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it.
Say this word trust lines. Okay, that's the line.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
All the directions.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be?
Dragons.
Wild. Use your imagination.
Guns.
Whatever
rockets.
It might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
GTA 6.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms.
Story.
Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
I'm going crazy.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control.
Okay.
How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley. Our destiny awaits.
Det är jävla sleek. Men är svårare än det var så. Oh, the confusion ending.
Oh, hold up, what's this?
Been playing the confusion ending for
the confusion ending? You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times?
Discover the second door.
That's really how all this goes?
Has many additional doors.
It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget?
Fifth
Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me?
Endings.
Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this?
Really? Ending
I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting.
I
don't want to forget what's going on.
What?
I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped.
Oh.
Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle?
You're breaking the cycle.
The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know?
Turn around to find...
Will someone come for us? Will something happen?
The office is now dead end.
So, okay. I guess now we just wait, you know. I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually.
Fourth, fifth,
well, in the meantime, if you...
What happened now? Oh, you started. Okay, what's the time? There's some like...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Restart. Vai fake restart. Did I not that? Okay, I not like restart. You get it.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. What was it about this room that called so deeply and so but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Mitä me tehtiin? Mentiin tonne, painettiin red bar button. Painettiin toi punaisnappi, joka menee alas. Sitten se restartasi ja sitten sanoi, bro meni kaikki sekas. Tuolla me hypättiin alas ja kuoltiin. Mitä jos me koko ajan kuollaan? Restart ja sitten kuollaan koko ajan. Koska mun mielestä kun se sanoi restart, se ei restartannut. Koska tuli sitten viive ja kaikki muu.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Tähän kaikki mitä se sanoi toisinpäin. Eli let's not follow the... Hei, kato se viiva taas tuolla. Wow. Tuolla toi ovi on auki. Toi ovi auki. Tässä pelissä on niin paljon mahdollisuuksia.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that
I'm asking for her.
For her? What do you mean for her?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
She's? Who are we talking about? Whoa, toi on pelottava.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Who are we talking about, man?
As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope. Hope for a life reunited Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone?
Yes.
No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose
smart,
incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action.
Yeah.
How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see...
everything.
No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world.
Whoa.
Please observe this helpful instructional video.
No.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person.
Oh my god.
But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in
What
this
kind of
scenario,
ending is this?
a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a
Choice
machine that
on
eliminates
minimize
food shortages across the
Kyllä
world to make
tehdä.
life better for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time
Niitä
should you
pelissä
make a
olisi
choice
aina
that
sanonut
does
sun
not conform
oikein
to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
Back in second, what?
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process.
Hey, yo, it's kind of
Most
positions
medical
there.
professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do
8
you make
choices per
more
day?
than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Oh my days.
Welcome
That's
back.
crazy.
You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Se voi meni automaattisesti. Sanoi, että pick up the phone mahdolliselle naalle. Mä vois ammata. Unplug it. Hold on. Sanoi follow, please. Nyt pakko tehdä jotakin eri. I can't follow his orders, man. Cancel. I'll go back. They go back. Mä istun tässä nurkassa. Okei, mitä tää ei halua, että mä teen? Menin ihan...
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Onko viive? Ei oo enää viive. Ei oo viivo, toi on ihan kiinni. Toi on vielä auki toi. Alhaalla. Täällä ei oo mitään muuttunut. I think we're going back. Yeah, I think we're going back. So why do I restart the game, bro? Miksi Pakotat vaan mennä back.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
Mä haluan tehdä jotain erillä tavalla. I don't wanna follow your orders.
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
We're going to the right. Big man, sorry, man.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Oh my god, what's going on? Oh. Enkä mä voi mennä enää tänne. I don't wanna go back. Alright. Tää video on tosi pitkä. On pakko tehdä part 2. Tää oli part 1.